as you can tell, the weather's getting a lot nicer, feeling like summer, and you know, that means it's great golfing weather. And you know, one thing I miss a lot during the season that I would have been able to accomplish during the season is playing different golf courses. Yeah, I haven't got to do much of that over the past 3 months. I've played my home course a lot, like 95% of the time, and sometimes that gets old. I made it a goal this past weekend to play some different golf courses, and that's what I did. I played 3 rounds in 3 days at 3 different golf courses. You know, St. Andrews, it isn't a spectacular golf course, but in my mind it's still awesome because the people there are great, and love playing golf with all of them. St. Andrews Golf Course, the course I know, actually hasn't been around that long, and about 13 years ago they underwent a pretty big renovation because they built a soccer complex to the east of the golf course, and they needed to take out some of the golf holes, actually 6 of the golf holes. With those 6 holes, they were down to 12, so they needed to add 6 more. So what they did was, on the west side of the golf course, they added hole 1, 2, and 3. They moved that over to the west side. And then on the southeast side of the golf course, they added 13, 14, and 15. I'm really thankful for those renovations because some of my favorite golf holes on the golf course are involved in those 6 holes, and I think they actually, if you think about it, kind of stand alone compared to the rest of the golf holes. I really don't have a favorite golf hole at any of these golf courses. I just kind of have a set of 3 that I like. And for St. Andrews, the first one is the second hole. The second hole is this nice par 4 after a difficult par 5 to open up with. One of the toughest par 5s, I would say, in Kansas City. It's a really difficult tee shot. You got to hit it through the narrow gap in the trees. But once you get through the gap, it's a really wide open hole. But the bunkering on the hole is really nice. Well placed bunkers too, both for a more advanced player as well as more of a mid handicapper. But I think what's the most interesting thing about the golf hole is the second shot. You know, normally, for me, I normally have between 50 and 90 yards. But it makes for a really difficult shot because there's a lot of undulation in the fairway. And you never know what kind of lie you're going to get. And you can get a lot of downhillers, and downhillers 40-yard wedge shots over a bunker to an interesting green is a difficult shot, and I think there's a lot of those on that green. And that's why, in reality, although the tee shot's pretty open, you have to be accurate with it, and you have to realize where the pin location is, and that can play a big factor into the tee shot. The next hole is the 5th hole, which is a sharp dogleg left. It only plays about 320, but that's bird's eye, so it plays more like probably like 340. And then it's a really simple tee shot. You know, you only got about 240 yards of fairway to work with, so it still makes the drive difficult on choosing the club. And there's this big tree that sits on the left side of the green, and depending on the pin location, that tree can factor in a lot into your second shot, and it can make your second shot, even though it's just a wedge shot, a very difficult one. And if you miss the green, it can get bad quickly too. You really got to be precise with both of the shots if you want a chance at birdie, which I think should be the case most of the time. But if you're not concentrated on those 2 shots, you can make bogey pretty easily. 15th hole, which through debate, us at work kind of think this is the signature hole. It's only about like a 480 par 5, but it doglegs severely left, and you have to clear the trees. This driver I hit right here actually went too far left. I did find it, but it was too far left, and I couldn't go for the green in 2. Once you get in the fairway, I'm normally between like 190 and 240. And this is a really tough green. You got to clear a creek on your second shot. It makes for a really difficult par 5. And you really got to think, well, do I just want to lay up here and make a pretty simple par, or do you want to go for it? The green is really, really difficult, and it still makes your third shot difficult if you lay up short of the creek. And I love it, and I think it is my favorite hole on St. Andrews, just because there's so many different things that can happen on the hole. We're here. It is Sunday, May 31st, last day of May. And we're out here at Blue Hills, a course that I'm lucky enough to get on because of my sister's fiance, and his family. So very gracious always for the opportunity to play out here, and it's a great course. Home of a Web.com tour event, so Korn Ferry tour event. So yeah, looking forward to play it, see what condition it's in. Normally it's always in top shape, so expecting great things today, and hopefully going to play a little better than yesterday. I shot a 79. Hopefully today I can break 80, which breaking 80 here is a much bigger deal than breaking 80 on my home course. You know, we play it from almost 7,100 yards, which is kind of a beast. But it's really enjoyable because you just got to go out there and grind. You got to hit good shots and stuff like that. My first favorite hole is 7. 7 is this dogleg left. I really like dogleg left holes. 7 is this dogleg left, really well placed bunkering, and you can hit a lot of different things off the tee. It's just a beautiful hole how it turns left, nice white bunkers, and then you got anywhere between a 52 or a 54 degree wedge and an 8-iron in, depending on the wind. And it's a massive green, like most of the greens out there, so they can put the pins in a lot of different places. The shot I just hit I didn't make birdie. It was just like a really good iron shot, if I'm being honest. And it was pin high, and it was just so crispy. I really like hole 14. Although it just seems like a really simple par 3. I think it's always been tough for me to dial in the distance. And the green is really cool because it's got a high spot in the front, a high spot in the back, and then it just kind of cups in. And the day we played it, the pin was in that, it's not like a bowl, but it's just like a slow undulation in. And you know, the tee shot looks really pretty.
That's pretty good.
You know, I never really thought of it as a great hole until I actually played it the other day, but I really enjoyed the hole. And it's a nice simple par 3 that probably gets overlooked, but I think it's a cool hole. Lastly is hole 17. Hole 17 is a dogleg right, but it's a really unique hole because it's got these trees on the right, and you kind of got to hit a cut or just like hit a bomb over the trees, and then you still got a really difficult second shot in there. You gotta hit 2 really good shots to put it on the green, and I think holes like that are cool. Alright, today is the 3rd and final round of the 3-day stretch, and it's the round I've been most looking forward to because it's at a new golf course, and I love playing new golf courses. Different challenge, and I've heard it's a really nice golf course too, so looking forward to what it has to offer. There's some tough conditions today. I don't know if you can see the leaves moving, but yeah, kind of windy, but we'll see. Try to dial it in, try to break 80, see what happens. Gabe and I went out and played Sycamore Ridge, and I had heard great things about this golf course, and I was looking forward to playing it. Never played it before. People were surprised I had never played it before, but yeah, I was looking forward to it. and it was a really great price for a public golf course. They got youth rates out there, which is always nice that they respect the youth coming out there and playing. The front nine is all within the trees, which is cool. And I was just like totally lost. It was like the most confusing 9 holes I think I've ever played. And then the back nine's pretty wide open, and that wasn't as bad. A lot of beautiful holes. I think I'd have to say some of the holes I feel like weren't the best hole designs for somebody like me who hadn't played the golf course, and I think that's sometimes really important, is making a golf course especially good for your first experience out there, and not knowing where to land shots and stuff like that can sometimes be frustrating. But either way, I think if I went out there a second or third time, it would be a lot more easier and I would see things a lot better. So my first favorite golf hole out there was the 7th. It was this par 5, kind of short. You can't hit driver off the tee. And so I just hit a little 2-iron out there. And then the second shot's a nice, beautiful shot down this big hole. I got this picture from behind the green. It was a cool hole because of the elevation change. I liked that, and the second shot was really pretty. The first shot you didn't really know where you were going, which I normally don't like blind tee shots, but that one was kind of cool. Hole 13 is a short par 4. It was playing back into the wind, so it wasn't really drivable the day we played it, and I actually hit kind of a bad shot into a bunker 50 yards short of the green. But either way, like it was a wide fairway. You could just hit a nice little iron out there and have a 100-yard shot, but I wanted to attack it. And then the bunkers just kind of go up towards the green, and then the green is a super long, skinny green, like 3 tiers or something like that. And those are the kind of greens I like. And you know, even though it is short par 4, it's still a difficult shot. And then I hit the best shot of the day. I hit a 50-yard bunker shot to 20 feet, which, you know, doesn't sound that amazing, but 50-yard bunker shots are really difficult. And I nipped it perfect. And then I got out there and drained the birdie putt for the only birdie of the day. But either way, it was a really cool hole, and definitely one I would want to play downwind because I would want to see if I could drive the green. The last hole I really enjoyed was the 15th, par 5. Really cool bunkering. I got some video clips of this hole, and big wide fairway, but you got to put it in the right spot with all those bunkers out there. And then the green was really cool. It had this one spot, one high spot, and then everything else was like a bowl. And I was kind of disappointed because the pin was in the high spot. If it was in the bowl, it would have been cooler. But either way, I actually 3-putted that hole. Only 3-putt of the day. Either way, my experience at Sycamore, definitely a fun golf course, and definitely worth the money for sure. Be prepared, bring some balls out there because you're gonna lose some balls. I lost 4 balls, and I can't tell you the last time I've lost 4 balls in a golf round. And I still managed to shoot an 81 despite losing 4 golf balls. It was pretty tough conditions, pretty windy, but yeah, I shot a 79, 80, 81 the 3 days. So, you know, it wasn't my best golf, but it was still really enjoyable to get out there and play some different golf courses, and it was a fun 3 days. Enjoyed my time out there, and hoping we can do this, hoping I can make another video like this later this summer with 3 other golf courses, because I always like going to new golf courses and seeing what they have to offer.